I just don't spend that much time just sitting there in my room like, I think I'm way better than this guy, or I'm like, this guy shits on me.
We're almost done with the first week of NALCS here on the 2018 season with coverage presented by OmniSlash. I'm joined right now by Meteos, who has made I say it's a triumphant return? You played last year, but you were kind of only half playing. I don't know.
Yeah, you can call it that. Sounds good.
So we never had a chance to talk since you came back. What is different about this year versus last year? Because it does feel like, and everybody's kind of told me you are doubling down on your commitment and really dedicating to LCS, whereas it was a little different last year, right?
Right. So last year I actually wasn't planning on playing at all. I was going through some personal stuff, and I didn't really feel like I had the right mindset to play. Like, I wouldn't really want to be on a team just for the sake of being on a team and letting my teammates down, that kind of stuff. So I thought I'd be distracted, was not planning on playing. So then while I wasn't playing, I was approached by P1 because they needed like an emergency sub. And the first time they asked me, I was like, nah, sorry, not really interested. And they asked me again. Jack's like, I think it'd be really cool of you to do this. So I said, okay, I'll play. It sounded like it was just a 1 weekend thing. And then we did really well. Like, I think we 2-0'd, beat Cloud9, that kind of stuff. And so they just kept asking me to play. And so like I told them from the beginning, I was like, I don't think I'm a good choice. I'm not looking to play full time right now. I'm not like in a great place mentally. I haven't really been practicing, but if you absolutely need me to play, I will. And they were like, yeah, that's cool. And they were really accommodating. They didn't really ask much of me, and it just kind of worked out. Yeah. And then this year, I'm just ready to get back into it. A lot of those things I was going through last year aren't really around anymore. So yeah, just ready to get back into it.
Yeah. So what was the process? What did you always kind of know that as the P1 stuff was winding down, or as the season ended, that you were like, okay, next year is when I'm coming back, or was there kind of an epiphany? At what point did you decide you wanted to play and actually really, reintroduce yourself to the LCS kind of in the same way you used to play before?
I would say that when franchising started getting talked about a lot more is when I was kind of like switching back into the competitive gear. But I will say that when it became 2017, I basically just told myself, I was like, okay, this whole year is just kind of an off year. Like, I'm just going to chill this year, try to focus on myself, personal stuff, and just kind of chill out, because going so hard for so long, it just burns you out. Yeah. And then, like as it was becoming closer to 2018, seeing all the franchising stuff, started playing solo queue more. Yo.
There he is.
100.
Are we still doing an interview, Afro? Okay. See you in a bit.
Yeah, and then basically when P1 didn't make it into franchising, I started getting offers from other teams, and that's when I figured, like, yeah, this is going to be my future, so time to take it a little bit more seriously.
Yeah. So what is different about the Meteos that is competing in 2018 versus the one that competed in 2016, 2015, et cetera?
Well, I'd like to think that as time goes on, I'm just getting more mature, trying to become a better teammate, better player. So, yeah, I'd like to think that every split I just grow up a little bit more, and I just try to be a good teammate, like someone that my teammates want to play with.
Yeah. I think a lot of people didn't know how to play 100 Thieves going into this weekend, yet now you've had such a dominant start, especially beating CLG, which I think a lot of people had high expectations for. How do you feel about how this has gone down for you, and are you surprised at all by the success in the first week, or is this what people should be expecting out of 100 Thieves every week?
Let's see. I wasn't really expecting to be super dominant or anything. I haven't really scrimmed every single team, haven't seen many teams play a lot of the new rosters, so I'm happy we got a good start, but I'm not really thinking too much about it. I'm just going to keep trying to work on our team, make sure we're like improving our communication, our teamwork, getting good reads on the meta, and just improving, having a good time. Yeah. So far, I really like my teammates. Like, they're all super chill, easy to work with, and I really enjoy practicing. Like, look forward to scrims, look forward to LCS, so it's a good time.
Coming out of what was a pause in your career, how do you feel you measure up against the other junglers right now?
A lot of people ask me that, and I don't know.
Good question.
I understand why they ask me, but I just don't spend that much time just sitting there in my room like, I think I'm way better than this guy, or I'm like, this guy shits on me. I'm just kind of not too concerned about that stuff. I think it's better for the fans to, compare players, and I just try to like make sure I'm getting better.
But you're better than Dardoch and Svenskeren. But you're better than, I don't know, I'm just trying to come up with a bunch of stuff to give.
You tell me, bro.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting to hear you say that, just because I know a lot of other people try to, they think a little bit about where they're placing. But for you, you don't have junglers that you think are kind of like a difficulty for you, and you don't have junglers that you think you can roll.
I think a lot of the jungle role is just how well you play with your team, that kind of stuff. So I usually find myself thinking more about teams in their entirety than just like the specific jungler. I think most of the junglers in NALCS are actually really good. I don't think there's any jungler that I'm like, yeah, this guy's a joke. He's going to get rolled. So I think the competition's pretty good. Yeah. And I'm just not too distracted with like ranking myself, that kind of shit. Yeah.
Finally, talk to me about sort of what has happened to for a long time, there was a stable Cloud9 roster. Now that roster is kind of all over the LCS, right? Like you've got obviously high on Golden Guardians, you've got Lemon places, you're here, and obviously the guys that have remained on C9. So what is it like for you sort of having these guys on the other teams? Is it fun to play against them? Do you not even think about it? What do you think of that situation?
I think it's a lot of fun to play against my former teammates. I think that we spent so much time together on Cloud9 that we're always going to have like this sort of bond with each other. Yeah. Even if we don't talk every day, when I was walking by Hyas, he was setting up and I was coming off, like, we chatted, we like joked around. So we're always going to be friends, and it's cool to play against him, and I hope they do well.
Yeah. Anything you want to say to any of the 100 Thieves or Meteos fans out there?
Thanks for the support, and we're going to keep winning.
Very good. Thank you so much for the interview. It's good to have you back in full form and fully committed to the NALCS this year. And congrats on a really, really good start to the split. For everyone else, you can check out the rest of my coverage of all things esports right here on my YouTube channel. I want to say thank you so much for the support and watching my content. If you want to, you can subscribe and you'll see more.
Don't do it because he sucks.
Omni/sponsored, brought to you by content right here on my channel.